at dawn, not a car inside. When all seemed to be frozen and noise is gone, peace and quiet at once, sitting on the throne. When a cloud is resting on mountain top and the summit is lost in the foggy sky, I just take a deep breath as I realize that a moment like this is my paradise. At lonely nights I'm dreaming about my home, my Dagestan, and I will never stop believing and being proud of my land. And all across the border, each one of Dagestani nation have so much love and longing for our soil, for our nature.
Hello, dear friends. Salam alaikum. Welcome to our native land, to the land of Sулейман-Стальский district. My name is Аллахкулиева Саида Нуралиевна. I'm an English teacher. I work at Sardar Secondary School. Today, our English Teachers Association have prepared for you a gripping video about the most important and interesting places about the famous and outstanding people of our district. This year, my dear, we are celebrating the anniversary of the Homer of 20th century, Sулейман-Стальский. As I have said, my dear friends, I work in Sardar Kent, and now we are in this village. These are my best pupils, Mariam and Leila. Sardar Kent is one of the oldest settlements of Sулейман-Стальский district. The information tells us that it's more than 2,000 years old. The population of the village is over 700 people. This is Sardar Secondary School. The history of the school dates back to 1970, when the head of the school was Ragimkhanov Najmuddin Ragimkhanovich. Nowadays, the current head teacher is Musaev Asadullah Daniyalovich. The total number of the pupils is 79.
Just behind the school, we can see the Chirakcha River. Let's go there. Currently, we can see the water supply system Sardar Kent and Derkushka Zmalar is being built in the river.
This water cleaning construction is one of the largest facilities in the village. It is an important economic and social object of the region. It will provide with quality water more than 90% of the region's population.
The kindergarten Amanat was constructed 2018 by Mecenas Saib Alimov. Children from nearby villages come here. More than 70 little kids attend this institution. Here you see a bridge that leads to Vikilar. This village borders on Khivsky district. The Ministry of Emergency Situations number 25 is also located in Sardar Kent. This huge building looks impressive. The workers of the MES ensure the safety of two districts, Sулейман-Стальский and Khivsky.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you say some words about the work of Ministry of Emergency Situations?
Вы можете сказать пару слов о работе в МЧС?
Основная работа МЧС заключается в предупреждении пожаров, ликвидации пожаров, в спасении людей, материальных ценностей или иных культурных ценностей от чрезвычайных происшествий, связанных именно с пожарами. И не только с пожарами, так как в компетенцию Министерства чрезвычайной ситуации входит также аварийно-спасательные работы, направленные на либо минимизацию, либо на предотвращение и ликвидацию иных чрезвычайных ситуаций, такие как ураганы, наводнения, землетрясения, взрывы, иные техногенные катастрофы и тому подобное. И на данный момент могу только сказать в отношении нашего района, что основные чрезвычайные ситуации у нас связаны либо с пожарами, либо природные, либо бытовые, или же на транспорте. И, конечно, не дай бог, и землетрясение, так как мы относимся к сейсмоопасной зоне. Дагестан у нас входит в сейсмический пояс, и у нас землетрясения тоже часто происходят. И чуть-чуть, конечно, с ветрами, с ураганами и так далее. Иногда у нас происходят сильные ветры, в результате которых либо крыши срывают на домах, либо уносят иные материальные имущества. И в данный момент могу сказать, что вот, ликвидация последствий данных происшествий тоже лежит в нашей компетенции.
Спасибо. Thank you.
Look at this picturesque nature, great mountains, fresh air. Dear friends, this is glamping territory with 5 dam models. Here you can relax with family, with your friends. You can admire the beauty of nature, sit by the fire, swing or ride quad bikes. Welcome to our places.
Now let's listen to the poem about the village Sardar.
Давайте послушаем нашу уважаемую Халахову Дидя.
Sapat dağlar, kani kayfiz qayıtar. Mad xuray ütkem hayar, avodon kuy Sardar xür. Xürün yuqa şehrer qer, mad nigehen xuy çiçüller. Her nehle de küqay ekher, işıqlı kuy Sardar xür. Sardar xürün yarğı dugun. Ana buldiz yemişar huy, yemişar huy. Evlenmiş kaç jehilar, ünürlük din yurdaşar huy, yurdaşar huy.
Hello everybody, my name is Mudinova. I'm an English teacher at the Alcad school. Today I would like to tell you about my village and attraction. My village is called Alcad. Alcad is located in the northwestern part of the Suleyman-Stальский district on the Kakuk highway. Alcad is also located on the left bank of the Chirakchaya river. The exact age of the village is unknown, but in the 10th century, the village has already existed. In 1885, there were only 65 houses. The population was 368 people. And by 2024, the population is 970 people. 500 meters south of Alcad, there is a settlement of Old Alcad, which houses are architectural monuments. The first cemetery with the tomb of Hassan al-Alcad and his wife. He died in 1910 and was buried in his native village. The grave of scientists is located in the old Alcad. Pupils and teachers of the Alcad school visit the grave of the scientists every year. The main attraction of the village is the Museum of Hassan al-Alcad. It was founded in 2009 in the middle of the village Alcad. The museum has 5 halls. The first hall is dedicated to Hassan al-Alcad. His published books are presented here. As Dagestan, Javad al-Mamnoon, Jirat al-Mamnoon. Among the finds are letters, recommendations, autographed books, and so on. Stamps have been made with his work, life, and activities. Unique exhibits are on display: an autographed Kuran, his chest of drawers, an ink device, an armchair. In the second hall, there is a library of Hassan al-Alcad, which is being prepared by Professor Amri Sheikh. He is the great-grandson of Hassan al-Alcad. The library contains more than 350 titles of books.
Amri Sheikh is a Soviet and Russian Orientalist, historian, and Islamic scholar. He was born on March 20, 1928 in Durban. He is a descendant of the ideological lady Mohammad Yaraksky and the famous scientist Hassan al-Alcad. The main areas of research work are the history and culture of medieval Dagestan, Islamic culture, Arabic handwritten book, and so on. He died on September 21st, 2019 in Makhachkala.
The next hall
of the museum is devoted to exhibits related to the descendants of Ghassan Effendi Al-Qadarski. They are Gottfried Ghassanov, Genrikh Ghassanov, Abdul Ali Ghassanov, Shamil Gusseinov, Abdul Salam Gusseinov, Ibrahim Gusseinov, Amri Sheikh Saidov, and many others. In the fourth hall of the museum, there are exhibits and materials dedicated to the ancestors of Ghassan Effendi Al-Qadarski. These are, first of all, Magomed Yarasi and Abdullah Effendi. Many exhibits about their lives and activities have already been collected and exhibited. In the fifth hall of the museum, you will be able to get acquainted to the history of the village of Alcad. National costumes, antique utensils, household items, semela, jug, old lamps, musical instruments, handmade rugs, handicrafts are presented here. Materials about the history of the Alcad will be presented separately. A photo montage is being prepared about the Alcad participant of the Great Patriotic War. The Museum of Ghassan Effendi Al-Qadarski can become the center of emergency of a new scientific direction, Alcad studies. Opposite the museum, on the other side of the road, is the village council of Al-Qadarski. It's a two-story building. On the ground floor, there is a village library and a post office. The village administration is on the second floor. Dear friends, thank you very much for your attention. And now I give the floor to my children, because they will tell you about another event.
Hello everybody, my name is Ella. I'm a student of the 9th grade of the Alcad school. I keep telling you about the attraction. The another attraction is a mosque which is next to the museum on Henry Hassanov Street. It was registered on February 18, 2022. A mosque is a holy place for Muslims where they gather for prayer, reading the Quran and performing other religious rituals. To the left of the mosque where is FP. FP stands for Federal Outpatient Clinic. In the 60s, the so-called Finnish houses were built in the village of Alcad. A medical center was organized in one of their houses. A Russian woman, Nadezhda Petrovna Gajieva, worked in it. Since that year, medical care was being provided to the villagers here. Currently, the FP is located in the same prefabricated panel building, still dedicated to the defenders of the fatherland who died in the Great Patriotic War. It was built in 1974 in the village of Alcad. It displays the memory of all veterans who fell in the Great Patriotic War, is honored, parades and events are held on May 9. Thank you for your attention, and Jamila will tell you about other attractions.
My name is Jamila. I am a student of the 9th grade of the Alcad school. I would like to tell you about the history of the Alcad school. In 1839, a madrasa was built in Alcad by Abdullah Effendi and by his son Hassan Effendi Al-Qadarski. It was transformed into a Soviet school. Alcad Secondary School has its own glorious history. One of the oldest schools in southern Dagestan was founded in the village of Alcad. It was small with 3 rooms. Each student received a separate lesson. The tasks were individual. The children of Hassan al-Qadari himself studied here. The training was conducted in Turkish and Arabic. Abdul Qadir al-Qadarski is the author of the first lesson primer and the first textbooks in the lesson language. In 1952, a new school was built in the Alcad Valley. It was transferred to a junior high school. Children from neighboring villages also came to the Alcad school on foot. Vekiyalar Sardarken, Seyitken. Russian teachers also worked at the school. At first, the school employed 10 teachers. The list of teachers began to grow. Some left, others came. This is a truly unique pedagogical dynasty that continues to this day. In 2021, a new two-story secondary school was built with a gym, a mini playground, and a dining room. There are 122 students and 32 teachers working at this school. The principal of the school is Gamidov Gamid Rashidovich. Today, many descendants of the famous Hassan al-Qadari family work at the Alcadar Secondary School. I give the floor to classmate Saida.
Hello everybody, my name is Saida. I am a student of 9th grade of the Alcadar school. The mountains in Alcadar are covered with forests consisting of oak linden and wild fruit trees. Rosette and blackberry bushes grow on the mountain slopes. The water of the Chirakchai river are bubbling in a deep gorge. Chirakchai is a river flowing through the territory of the Agulsky, Khivsky and Sулейман-Стальский districts of the Dagestan. The length of the river is 93 kilometers. Not far from the river, between the hills in the depression, is the Zilidinvir, lake of leeches, surrounded by red beds. Many birds come here for the winter. Not far from the lake there is a spring, Mukatsun Bulak, Mukut's name Bulak Spring. The water in the spring is very cold. Another spring, Kamun Bulak, spring in the hollow, is located in the forest thicket behind the old village. Mountains with an altitude of 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 meters above sea level. There are plains between the mountains that used to be sown with cereals. It is very wonderful. This is the end of the story about the sights of our native village. Thank you very much for your attention.
Dear friends, welcome to our village.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are very glad to see you here in our Nityuk village. I'm the English teacher of Nityukskaya Middle School, Ramazanova Besira. Together with my students of the 8th grade, I here to represent you the most picturesque and most important sites of our settlement. Welcome to Nityuk.
Welcome. Have a great time. Enjoy your trip. We are glad to see you.
The settlement of Nityuk is rather old. It was founded in the 16th century. This village is also very beautiful and very attractive, and we can prove it today. There are some objects of historical and cultural heritage in our Nityuk village. The plane tree that grows here is one of them. This plane tree is considered relatively young. It is more than 350 years old, but next to it stood a really old tree which was 700 or 800 years old, but unfortunately the tree was burned down. Look at the size of this tree. This tree is really big. Every year our school children come to this place. We arrange here different excursions and picnics. We often come to this place and clean the territory of our plane tree. We try to preserve the habitat, the nature of our place. Well, let's continue our trip. We can't get around the most picturesque, awesome, and incredibly wonderful place of our village. It is the canyon or Nityuk Gorge. Of course, it is not of that big size like the US Gorge, but it is worth speaking about. There is a riddle rock. Can you see the numerous pegs of wood hammered into the rock? There are two versions regarding pegs. According to the first version,
On the top of the rock was the fortress of the local ruler. Once the enemy army approached the fortress, but could not take it. Then the daredevils climbed the steep cliff, hammering pegs into it to conquer the fortress. The second version runs that a local ruler had a beautiful daughter who was promised to the man who would be the first to climb the steep cliff to the fortress. So, in spite of the size, this canyon has its own mysterious stories. The most probable version of these pegs is honey collection. People used to collect honey, the honey of wild bees here. This honey was considered to be very effective and useful.
My heart in the highlands. My heart in the highlands. My heart is not here. My heart in the highlands, a chasing the deer, a chasing the wilder, and following the roe. My heart in the highlands, wherever I go.
Farewell of the highlands, farewell to the north, the birthplace of valor, the country of woes. Where will I wander, where will I rove? The hills of the highlands forever I love.
A little further, on a small hill, you can see a lonely watchtower. This tower was built in the 16th or 17th centuries. Previously, there was a village on this place, but only this tower remained from it. It was rebuilt in 2012, and it was done due to the fact that the tower began to bend. Even now, if you look closely, you can see a slight slope like that of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. This tower is an object of historical heritage too. This tower is very popular among our people and tourists who come to watch the sights of our village. Not far from this place, there is a mosque which is more than 150 years old, but it is being rebuilt. I think the next time we can come to this place, we will be very glad to meet you here again next time. Thank you for your attention.
I am an English teacher of Kurkenskaya Secondary School number 1, and these are my schoolgirls. They want to tell you about your remarkable motherland.
Dear friends, welcome to our picturesque Kuran, one of the oldest villages on the south of Dagestan. It's located on the river Chirakchai and is surrounded by grand mountains. With its natural heritage, the sights here are breathtaking.
As for remarkable people of our village, Gurkent is a national poet Kuran Milik's. Here you can see a monument to revolutionary Najmuddin Samurski. It is also a home for many teachers, doctors, and many great personalities.
In recent several years, more than 2,000 mosques have been restored or built anew in our republic. Inhabitants of our motherland also decided to build another in our village, and today it plays a great role as a place of worship in our religion. The art of carpet weaving has been developing in our region for many centuries. Its origin and development was a result of fast developing sheep breeding. Ornamental weaving was a really common thing in many districts and villages of Dagestan. Almost each of the nationalities that populated the country has its own favorite types of carpets. The local craftsmen, especially women, manufacture not only carpets and rugs, but also various articles of woolen knitwork, such as densely patterned socks and stockings, and also knitted footwear, etc. Our women also manufacture one-sided napless carpets called sumaks that are generally used for covering floors. They used to have a great size because one sumak is supposed to provide a floor covering for the whole room.
Tell me what you see. Purple, green, and gold, clouds that touch the sky, little birds flying by.
Sun setting in the west, flowers in the east, cold relaxing breeze, and flowers fill the trees.
The sun is shining, the sky is blue, the birds are flying, and the breeze is so cool.
Mother Nature is trying her best to give nothing but beautifulness. But what do we do? Make in her mess.
Let's make her the best by polluting less and less and preserve her green dress for our kids and the rest.
This area is the oldest part of Kurkent, where it was founded at first.
Hello, my name is Inessa. I'm an English teacher. I live and work in Novaya Maka. Novaya Maka is my native village. I have been living here since my birth. They say every bird likes its own nest. And as for me, there is nothing more native than my village. The population of our village is over 6,000. And people live here in peace and friendship. Our village is separated by the road Baku-Rostov. In ancient time, the Silk Road passed through here. And now our students will show and tell you about the best places of our village, Novaya Maka.
Hello, my name is Jasmine. I am a pupil of the 10th form. Novaya Maka is my home. Now I'm standing near the obelisk put in memory of its inhabitant victims during the Great Patriotic War. It's situated in the center of our village and not far from our school. On a Victory Day, people, veterans, and inhabitants of our village lay flowers to the obelisk. This is our park. Our park is small but very nice. Children come here to play and adults to relax. In summer, this park becomes a very lovely place. In my opinion, parks are necessary places for people who are tired of hectic days.
Hello, my name is Amriyad. This is a hilly place in our village. It is a good place for developing farming. They say that gold was once found here. This place is especially beautiful in spring. And this is the lake Danguznavur right on these hills. It is not large, but it is deep. In summer, people go fishing and swim here. Our village is modern and developed. Here is a mini football field. Children spend their free time playing football. It is their favorite place.
I am an English teacher. I have been working at this school 1982. Welcome to Ugat. Our village has beautiful nature and an interesting rich history. At first, I want to tell you about nature. Nature is everything that surrounded us. It is beautiful and admire it. Ugat has breathtaking nature for its green spaces, landscape, green hills, singing birds, bright flowers, spring hills, springlets are so amazing. Nature gives us a lot of important things which we can't live without them. That's why every person must protect it and must never forget that it is our home. Nature is wonderful in all seasons, especially in spring. Many people like spring. So do I, because it is the time when the trees are green, when the flowers begin to bloom, and the animals come out of hibernation. Come visit us, dear guests, in this season. When you have the opportunity, you'll have a good rest in our village. And we can cook for you our national dish, Hingal in nature. It is so tasty and funny. I think you like it. We'll be waiting for you in any time. Secondly, I want to tell you about our heroes. Look at, please, this stand. Heroes are not born, heroes are become. Mehtikhanov Imam, Nuraliyev Raifuddin, Magomed Kerimov Zaur, Zibulayev Isa. They were graduates of our school who gave their young lives for our future, for our homeland. They died heroically in Ukraine and Chechnya for courage, for bravery and dedication. By decree of the President of Russian Federation, they were awarded of the Order of Courage after death. Their native school will remember and never forget them as heroes of patriots of our motherland. Secondly, I want to show you the stand of our heroes. Look at this stand, please. Heroes are not born, heroes are become. Sad to say, Мехтиханов Имам, Нуралиев Райфудин, Магомед Керимов Заур, Zibulayev Isa, they were graduates of our school who gave their young lives for our future and for our homeland. They died heroically in Ukraine and Chechnya in a special military operation. For courage, bravery, and dedication, by decree of the President of Russian Federation, they were awarded of the Order of Courage after death. Their native school will remember and never forget them as heroes of devoted patriots of our motherland. We also have a national hero of Azerbaijan. He is Famil Iskandarov. He was the legendary Lezgin people, our fellow village. He died heroically defending President Gaidar Aliyev. He was buried in Baku because his parents live there. Further, I want to continue that our village, Ugat, has a lot of honored persons, scientists, professors, cultural and artistic figures, and many candidates of different sciences. We are proud of them. Let me introduce you to the biographies of these amazing people. Pupils will tell you about them.
Abutalib Abilovich Abilov, Lezgin historian, founder, and the first rector of the Dagestan State University, professor, honored scientist of the ISFSR, honored worker of Higher School of the Russian Federation, Doctor of Historical Sciences. Abutalib Abilov was born in 1920 in the village of Ugat, Suleyman-Stальский district. His father was forced to work in the oil field of Baku in order to support his family. In 1929, Abutalib went to school. In 1936, he graduated from the Ugat 7-year school, and in the same year he graduated, he entered the Derbent Agricultural College. For excellent academic success, he was enrolled in the Moscow Agricultural Academy Timiryazov. He was unable to complete his study due to the Great Patriotic War, so he returned to Dagestan and entered the Pedagogical Institute named after Sулейман-Стальский. In 1943, he completed it. In May 1943, he headed the propaganda and agitation department of the Kakuk Regional Committee of the CPSU. In September 1944, he was appointed secretary of the Komsomol Regional Committee for Agitation and Propaganda. In June 1945, he was sent to study in the High Party School, where he studied for 3 years. In October 1949, Abilov became the head of the Planning and Financial Department, and in the 1950, he became the head of the Agricultural Department. In 1954, Abilov was appointed director of the Dagestan Pedagogical Institute, which in 1957 transformed into Dagestan State University, V.I. Lenin. In 1960, he became a doctor of historical sciences. He was one of the founders of research in the history of Dagestan culture. Abila worked at DSU for 30 years until his retirement in 1987. He lived all his life in a modest one-story university house. The rector paid special attention to education of scientific and pedagogical personnel of the young university. The rector made great efforts of the university, and Mahachkala turned from a small provincial town into a university city. The educational buildings, sports complex, planetarium, and residential buildings for teachers that he built for them gave the city a metropolitan view. Before his retirement, his dream came true. The construction of a library, of a scientific library, that is one of the largest in the North Caucasus, was completed. He also was active in social work. Scientist awards: Honored Scientist of the ISFSR, Honored Scientist of Dagestan, Honored Professor of the Dagestan State University, Honored Worker of Higher School of the Russian Federation. Also, he had Order of Friendship of People and Order of the President of the Russian Federation, an additional and financial lifelong support. At the age of 92, a prominent statesman and public figure, scientist of the Dagestan State University, and also his former, died. He was buried in his native village next to the graves of his parents. The memory of the great man will forever remain in the hearts of everyone loved and relatives and fellow villagers.
Ramazan Yusufovich Yusufov, 1912-1992. Lesbian scientist, journalist and poet, Doctor of Historical Sciences, Professor. Born into the family of Baku worker Shigasanov Yusuf Shigasanovich. After graduating the third form of a rural school, his father took him to Baku, where he studied until 1926. In 1927, he entered the Derben Turkish School. After graduating from this school, 1913, and he returned to his native village Ugat and worked as a teacher. In 1926, he joined the ranks of the Lenin Komsomol, and in 1913, he became secretary of the Komsomol Salad School. In 1936, after graduating from the North Caucasus Regional Higher Communist Agriculture School, he returned to Mahachkala, where he worked as secretary of the Komsomol Committee at the Dagmet Technicum and as a history teacher. In 1941, he graduated from the Dagestan Pedagogical Institute. He was the member of CPSU since 1938. Ramazan Yusufov worked in a number of responsible party Soviet positions. In the apparatus of the Dagestan Regional Party Committee, first secretary of the Kasumkent District Committee, first secretary of the City Committee of the Derbent Party, deputy chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Dagestan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic, chairman of the Caspian City Council. He was elected as a deputy of the Supreme Council of the Dagestan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic, a member of the Regional Committee of the CPSU. In 1949, he graduated from the higher party committee of the CPSU Central Committee. Being a doctor of historical sciences, he wrote over 13 scientific works. Ramazan Yusufovich was awarded the Order of the Badger of Honor, the Order of the Patriotic War Second Class, the Red Banner of Labor, 9 medals of the USSR, 4 certificates of honor of the President of the Supreme Council of the Dagestan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic, excellence in education of the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic and the USSR. Member of the Union of Journalists of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. 27 years old, Ramazan Yusufovich Yusupov worked as deputy director of the Dagestan Scientific Research Institute of schools named after Taho Goji on the scientific side. He was the owner of many awards, medals, orders, and certificates. He died at the age of 18. Ramazan Yusufovich was buried in the capital of Dagestan Republic, but his relatives and the villagers remember and won't forget him.
Kerimov Seyfullah Asadullaevich, born on November 14, 1921, is a Lesbian village of Ugat, Kasumkin region, Dagestan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic, into a peasant family. In the pre-revolutionary years, the family lived in Baku, where the father of the future musician worked in the oil fields. The composer's childhood years were spent in Samur and Derbent. After the death of the father, the mother and the 4 children returned to Ugat. In 1955, after graduating from Erurio School, Kerimov entered the Makhachkal Music College. His first teacher was Khizik Mikhailovich Anukayev, who taught him to play the violin. In 1938, Kerimov, on the advice of his teacher, transferred to the Odessa Music College, where the famous teacher Professor Staliarsky worked. In 1941, he became a student at the Odessa Conservatory, but the outbreak of the war interrupted his studies. Since 1942, he worked as the orchestra artist of Song and Dance Ensemble of Peoples of Dagestan. As part of a special frontline brigade, he performed in units of the active army. After the end of the war, Kerimov went to work for the Radio Broadcasting Committee, where for almost 20 years he worked as an editor and the artistic director of music broadcasting, and then as a conductor of the Orchestra of Dagestan Folk Instruments, and finally as a conductor of symphony orchestra. Since 1952, Kerimov taught a member of periodical subjects in music school, and since 1964, he headed the Makhachkal Music School. In 1951, Seyfullah Kerimov became a student at the Gnesin Moscow Institute, Pedagogical Institute. In 1956-1958, he made folklore expeditions to Sukhotskensky, Akhtinsky, Marakemsky regions of Dagestan, collecting materials for his most significant musicological work, Folk Musical Creativity of the Lesbians. In 1956, he wrote an essay about the music culture of Dagestan for the book Music Culture of the Autonomous Republic of the Russian Soviet Federation Socialist Republic. In 1958, he graduated from Gnesin Institute, and in 1969, he became a member of the Union of Composers of the USSR. In 1960, he was awarded the honorary title of People Artist of Dagestan Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic. He passed away in 1991. Remember and proud of our outstanding composer and a man with a kind heart. We'll never forget him.
At the end, I would like to thank you for coming to us and visiting our school, village. More events like this. Health and good luck to you.
Hello, my name is Tagirova Klara Murshidovna. I live in the village of Kakuk and work as an English teacher at school. The village of Kakuk is located in the Suleyman-Stальский district. It is located at the foot of the mountains. There are many interesting things in our village. Today we will tell you about the sycamore or platain tree, about the beautiful Merki Canyon, and about an amazing place on stones. Welcome to Kakuk.
A sycamore tree.
Hello, my name is Camila. I want to tell you about a sycamore tree. Since ancient times, people have called it the china tree.
Salam alek. Ke hamisha khayr diz qala khrawbat khura ya Allah. Jan khuriz qanat yesas. Wazi qaler mubarak koy. Waz Allah ki bakhtar goy. Waz qatar fi shirin ro khayar ro shar koy. Um derek jawasat koy. Ya Rabbi ya Allah. Ya Rabbi ya Allah. Turidna muradar diz qasat. Shirin qili chanda didar. چشان و بودیشی سر خریزهای زی سوسر دالا بیزری